Hi everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Chris Ingalls. This is my cybersecurity capstone project and it's titled Click Wise, Click Safe, How to Combat Phishing Attacks. So a little bit about my journey in cybersecurity to get here. My first experience with hacking was a program called NetBus. It was hidden on CDs that we would swap amongst friends at school and allowed you to remotely open and close their CD drive, folder on their desktop, keylog. It was a bit of harmless fun between mates, but the internet made it a terrible thing. LimeWire was the next thing, and that exposed us to viruses and malware. These were file sharing programs to download songs, but people started hiding viruses and malware everywhere. It became a bit of a Russian roulette as to whether it was legitimate or if it was a virus, and these days it's purely a meme. Next was email spam at my first job as an IT manager at my family business in the early forms of phishing. But these were more annoying than a danger due to the sheer volume coming in. And these were the types that had the Nigerian prince who wanted to send you his fortune, but you had to provide your bank details first. In my early 20s, I learned the hard way of what social engineering was. I was selling one of my online gaming accounts on eBay, and the buyer wanted to verify what was on my account. I thought, no worries, have a quick look, and then give the details back. But sure enough, they changed the password and ran. And this was before there was FBI eBay fraud protection. From then on, I had a zero trust policy when it came to all my online accounts. Fast forward to recent years, and I've had several elderly family members who have been scammed out of thousands of dollars through using online shopping websites. And the culmination of all these lessons and watching the internet evolve is why I'm passionate about cybersecurity and educating those around me, which brings me to this capstone project. As an overview, I will define what social engineering and phishing is and the importance of being cybersecurity aware. I'll explain how phishing works with examples of different types of phishing methods and some real-world examples to look out for. Combating phishing with secure online habits, business policies, and technical tools. A summary of the presentation. As an introduction, phishing attacks have remained a significant financial and emotional burden for both individuals and businesses in 2024. Email phishing is one of the most common methods to acquire data and information with an estimated 3.4 billion spam emails sent every day. On average, 20% of employees click phishing links, and then of these, 68% go on to enter credentials on these sites. Phishing attacks cost large organizations $15 million annually, or more than $1,500 per employee. ClickWise, ClickSafe message that I'm conveying through this capstone project is to take a moment and think before you click. Become more cybersecurity aware, click wise, and you can then click safe with confidence. What is social engineering and phishing? Social engineering involves psychological manipulation to trick people into giving up sensitive information, which is what happened to me in my youth and my online gaming account. Phishing is a type of social engineering used in many forms, most commonly email, smishing, vishing, or fake websites, and I'll explain what those are shortly. And phishing messages will often try to create a sense of urgency, fear, or curiosity to get you to click. What does it mean to become cybersecurity aware? Becoming cybersecurity aware is crucial to safeguard your personal information because a significant portion of cyber attacks rely on human error. Educated users can quickly identify red flags in emails, text messages, and browsing to identify potential phishing attempts before clicking further. This can reduce the chance of falling victim to these attacks and empowers users to recognize threats and report them. And in doing so, it creates a human firewall amongst your friends and family at home and at work, adding an extra layer of defense against cyber attacks. Businesses should educate their employees on security awareness and invest in technical solutions to provide automated protection that acts as your first line of defense. How phishing works. Phishing is a lot like casting a line into the ocean. Attackers do the same by casting out messages to you that look legitimate, hoping to wind you in and steal your data. It starts with the cast. The attacker acts like someone you trust, like your bank, credit card company, or even a friend. The bait. They'll send you an email, text message, or social media message that appears legitimate. It might mention a fake urgent issue, special offer, or even a threat to scare you into acting quickly. Next comes the hook. The message will often include a link or attachment. Attachments might be malware in disguise waiting to infect your device. Finally, the wind in. Once you enter your information or click the malicious attachment, the scammer has what they came for. This could be usernames, passwords, credit card details, or other sensitive data. On to some methods. So email phishing is the most common phishing attack method. They contain an urgent call to action requesting password resets, confirming bank details, or to download an attachment. And an example here is actually from my work. So our emails are hosted by a cloud provider who uses Bitdefender, but a lot of these emails still come through to us employees. And you can see there a typo in the sender. And this is quite a simple email, but the big red flag for me was the HTML attachment. And then this next example is from Google Gmail, and it's using urgency with the password expiring on one day, but otherwise looks legitimate with logos and a legitimate looking link. But hovering over the link will show spelling errors or a totally different address. And some of the latest phishing emails are using the bit.ly shortened email website address, which can trick you as well. Next comes smishing and vishing. Phishing attacks leverage SMS and have become a prevalent threat to their ease of deployment and high success rates in tricking victims who are busy and distracted. There was a 37% increase in text scams in 2023 and a reported $26.9 million lost to this method. Phishing utilizes voice calls. The initial red flag is an unknown caller or a spoofed caller ID that looks like someone legitimate, often employed by scammers to impersonate organizations. The goal is to manipulate the target into divulging sensitive information or navigate them towards a compromised website containing a malicious link. And AI voice generators can mimic the voice of an authority figure or family member, and this lends credibility to the scam and increases its success rate. Next comes spear phishing. Spear phishing is a highly targeted form of phishing whereby the attacker meticulously researches their target, poses as a trusted source, and sends a message tailored to their specific interest. Be aware of what you share on social media, make your profiles private, and avoid engaging with those top 10 things about me posts. And specific phishing emails are likely to increase around things on social media like Spotify Wrapped, where everyone's talking about their best songs of the year. You'll often get emails looking to be from Spotify prompting a reset of your password. Next is whaling. Whaling is a sophisticated type of spear phishing that targets high-level executives such as CEOs and CFOs. They're the ones that have the financial data and the sensitive information and a higher risk but a higher reward for the attacker. They can afford to be patient and time their attacks around big announcements or mergers and acquisitions, looking to gain insider information and sell industry secrets. A recent example of this is where an Australian businessman recently came close to handing over $25 million to a convincing scammer. The attacker had researched the target over the last 18 months, knew all the financial terms, and had an official bank rate form and was only offering 1% higher rates. It was a call to his current bank who suggested he might be getting scammed that stopped him in the process. From a business point of view, if you have business email compromise, there's the sender policy framework helps authorize your senders. If you are sending multiple domains or third-party emails, an SPF record will help you specify them as legitimate sending sources so that malicious domains are blocked. If in doubt, take a minute to verify the request with a colleague or seek confirmation with the person directly. Other types of phishing. There's angler phishing and target social media. Fake accounts looking like friends try to add you as a contact. Business pages will have their customer service staff try to ask you to log in on a link to confirm an order. Or if an account has already been compromised, you'll start seeing your friends posting some out of character messages like the one illustrated. And it's usually got a call to action either to visit a website or to message someone else and ask them about the details, etc. Farming. Threat actors utilize domain name system cache poisoning to redirect users from legitimate duplicate websites. So the attacker will hack into the domain name server, and the user will enter the web address as they normally would. But this then points them to the illegitimate website. And then page hijacking uses cross-site scripting vulnerabilities to inject malware onto duplicate pages and redirects users to those. And then a recent new method called Phishing has started to gain traction in recent years. Quick response, or QR codes, are being used to redirect victims to malicious websites or prompt them to download harmful content. You receive a phishing email, like illustrated, with a QR code to scan with your phone. This pops up a website link to click, and this can sometimes be difficult to see the full address that comes up on the phone. ScamWatch reported there have been dozens of reports of phishing in Australia since 2020, and more than $100,000 has been lost so far to this method. These phishing emails can bypass secure email gateways and common email security solutions, as they are seen as simple images. So it's still up to the individual to think before scanning and clicking. How do we combat phishing? The first step is secure online habits. Developing a critical eye and questioning everything is your best defense for a zero trust policy. Enable multi-factor authentication wherever possible. Use alternate authentication methods and use strong passwords or passphrases and change them regularly. Make sure you look out for websites that use HTTPS instead of just HTTP in the address. These are secure websites that encrypt data between your computer and the website. There are some browser extensions that you can get that will only show you HTTPS. This can be problematic if a particular website or web server only has HTTP options, but better to be safe than sorry. Verify website legitimacy by double checking the URL for spelling errors or long strings of numbers. So two examples here are facebook.com, where there's a C instead of an O, and microsoft.com, where there's an RN, looks very convincing like an M. Also look for the padlock icon in the address bar to confirm a secure connection. Be wary of public Wi-Fi like shopping centres, cafes and airports. Don't enter sensitive information if you're connected. You don't know how secure the networks are or who else is tapped into them. You can use encryption software to add protection for your devices, and I use Windows Defender. Every time it connects to a Wi-Fi connection, it'll encrypt the data back and forward. In addition, if there are sites that have public charging stations, it's risky to plug data cables into it, like your USB charging cable, just in case someone has installed something into the port. There are power-only USB cables that you can get if you want to go down that path. And regularly keep your software updated. So update your operating system, web browser, antivirus, and other security software as often as possible. Updates will include security patches that fix known vulnerabilities. You'll get them almost straight away. On to business policies and procedures now. The cybersecurity is an ongoing process for businesses. By employing a layered defense with a focus on both employee awareness and technical solutions, organizations can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to phishing attacks. It starts with access controls and permissions to grant employees only the level of access to data and systems necessary for their job functions. This minimizes the potential damage if a phishing attack compromises a single account. Regular user access reviews. Conduct periodic reviews of user access privileges to ensure they remain aligned with current job roles and responsibilities, and when an employee leaves a company. This helps prevent unauthorized access gained through phishing scams from persisting for long periods. Have an incident response plan. So develop and maintain a comprehensive incident response plan to address potential attacks and ensure all employees know their roles and responsibilities in the event of an attack. Set some guidelines for external communications. And this is guidelines for how employees should communicate with external parties, including vendors, customers, and partners. This can help prevent employees from unwittingly disclosing sensitive information through social engineering scams. Continuing on, technical solutions provide a safety net, but the most effective defense is still an informed employee. Security awareness training equips employees and individuals with the knowledge and skills to identify and avoid phishing scams. Conduct regular security assessments can help identify vulnerabilities in your organization's security posture that could be exploited by phishing attacks. Phishing simulation platforms allow users to practice spotting simulated red flags and make decisions about how to handle suspicious emails in a safe and controlled environment as they build their confidence for real-world instances. And organizations can benefit from participating in threat intelligence sharing communities, allowing them to stay informed about the latest phishing tactics and emerging threats used by cybercriminals. Moving on to tools to combat attacks. Technical solutions provide automated protection against phishing attempts, but no solution is perfectly foolproof, and there's still the human factor. The secure email gateways act as filters between your email server and the internet. They use signature analysis and machine learning to identify phishing attempts, malware, and spam before they ever reach your inbox, but it's not 100% foolproof. Data loss prevention can be configured to monitor outgoing emails and attachments for sensitive data like credit card numbers or bank accounts. Utilize password managers like onepassword.com. These store your passwords along with usernames and web addresses therefore, and can generate new random passwords. This eliminates the temptation to reuse the same password on multiple different sites. There are many security programs available that provide anti-phishing features alongside antivirus, anti-malware, and other tools. I personally use Windows Defender at home, which comes free with Windows, and at my workplace I use Bitdefender, but there are many other options. You want to check each option for what is available in their free version versus their subscription models to ensure you have adequate coverage for your requirements. More advanced security programs, subscriptions will have features that can perform vulnerability scans like pictured of your network, scan your emails for spoofed sender addresses, malicious URLs embedded with emails, and other elements commonly used in phishing attacks. Some also have dark web analyzers that can tell you if an email address has been found on the dark web and what credentials are attached. I looked up my old Hotmail address and it's been pinged 11 times in the last decade. I knew most of them, and most of them are gaming related, but there were some I didn't know about, and so I've changed my password since then. Okay, so as a summary, even with filtering and threat intelligence solutions in place, some malicious messages will always find their way into inboxes, and there will always be some individuals who open those messages. Developing a critical eye for suspicious emails and online activity, learning more about cybersecurity, and implementing secure online habits goes a long way towards creating a human firewall for your friends and family. Businesses should be on the front foot with implementing and hardening their security policies and providing adequate security awareness training for their employees. Phishing and social engineering attacks are constantly evolving, so staying vigilant and maintaining strong cybersecurity hygiene is critical. Thank you for your time, and I hope you gained something from this cybersecurity capstone project. Are there any questions?